The air crackled with anticipation as President Donald Trump stepped up to the podium on March 4, 2025. It was his first joint congressional address of his second term, a moment pregnant with political significance. The nation, still deeply divided after the tumultuous elections of 2024, watched with bated breath. Trump, known for his fiery rhetoric and unconventional approach to governing, was prepared to lay out his vision for the next 4 years. Trump's address, delivered in the hallowed halls of the Capitol building, was a stark reminder of the partisan chasm that had come to define American politics. The event, traditionally an opportunity for the president to outline legislative priorities and rally support for his agenda, took on a different tone under Trump's leadership. From the outset, it was clear that this address would be less about bridging divides and more about solidifying his base and confronting his opponents. The president's words echoed through the chamber, a mix of boasts about past accomplishments and bold promises for the future. He touted the strength of the economy, claiming credit for record-low unemployment and a booming stock market. He reiterated his hardline stance on immigration, vowing to further fortify the border and crack down on undocumented immigrants. And on the world stage, he promised to maintain America's military dominance, projecting an image of strength and resolve. Trump painted a rosy picture of the American economy, attributing its supposed success to his policies. He boasted of tax cuts, deregulation, and trade deals that he claimed had unleashed unprecedented economic growth. He pointed to the rising stock market as evidence of his administration's success, conveniently glossing over the widening wealth gap and the struggles of working-class Americans. Immigration, a perennial flashpoint in American politics, occupied a central place in Trump's address. He doubled down on his hardline stance, vowing to further restrict legal immigration and increase deportations of undocumented immigrants. He called for even stricter border security measures, including the completion of his long-promised border wall. His rhetoric on immigration remained inflammatory, painting a picture of America under siege by undocumented immigrants. On foreign policy, Trump struck a familiarly isolationist tone. He reiterated his America First philosophy, arguing that the United States had been taken advantage of by its allies for too long. He vowed to withdraw from unfair trade deals and international agreements, while simultaneously promising to build up the military and confront America's adversaries with renewed strength. Trump's address was met with a predictable mix of reactions. On the Republican side of the aisle, there were thunderous ovations, particularly during his pronouncements on the economy and immigration. Republican lawmakers, emboldened by their continued control of the Senate, cheered enthusiastically for his promises to cut taxes, shrink the government, and appoint conservative judges. Trump's hardline stance on immigration played well with his base, eliciting roars of approval from the Republican side of the chamber. The Democratic response was a stark contrast. Many Democratic lawmakers sat stone-faced throughout the speech, their expressions a mix of disapproval and disgust. Some could be seen shaking their heads in disbelief, as Trump made unsubstantiated claims about his accomplishments and painted a distorted picture of the country. The Democratic side of the chamber remained largely silent during Trump's pronouncements on the economy and immigration, their quiet disapproval speaking volumes. The deep partisan divide was evident in the responses to Trump's address. Republican lawmakers praised the speech as a bold and visionary articulation of conservative principles, while Democratic lawmakers condemned it as divisive, dishonest, and dangerous. The contrasting reactions underscored the challenges facing American democracy in an era of hyper-partisanship. One of the most chilling moments of Trump's address came when he turned his attention to the federal bureaucracy. He accused the deep state of actively working to undermine his agenda and vowed to root out those who opposed him. His words sent a clear message to federal workers: fall in line or face the consequences. Trump's attack on the federal bureaucracy was not new, but it took on a more ominous tone in the context of his second term. His words raised concerns about the erosion of democratic norms and the potential for authoritarian overreach. The specter of a president using his power to punish his political opponents within the government was a troubling one. Trump's 2025 State of the Union address was a defining moment in his presidency. It revealed a leader increasingly comfortable with wielding power in a divisive and confrontational manner. The speech left many wondering about the future of American democracy and the direction in which the country was headed. The deep partisan divisions, the erosion of trust in institutions, and the president's own words and actions painted a picture of a nation teetering on the brink.